Can you give us a sense of what you're seeing within your numbers about the effects of the trade war between the United States and China right now? Are you seeing your customers cutting back?
Well, actually, I mean, for Siemens, the United States is our #1 Siemens country. China is our #2 Siemens country. So you can sort of understand that this is obviously of a concern to us. So if you look at our customer base, what we see today is they are mindful about the geopolitics and subsequently the geoeconomics. There is some slowdown in the global economy. We do see it in both areas, and we are very mindful about it.
How are you changing what you're doing as a result of that?
No, we don't. I mean, we listen to our customers. We look how we can help them. We are very strong in both the medical sector as well as industrial automation. People are looking for value, for productivity, for innovation, so we can help them make their products cheaper, which obviously helps them to, to stay positive and continue to invest. But obviously, there is no doubt that geopolitics today is one of the major factors on economic growth and what investment and capital goods company are doing, or actually not doing, because they're unsure about what happens in the immediate future.
Exactly, Joe. So when you have board meetings or when you're just sitting in your offices and thinking about what to do, how are you modeling what's going on now between the US and China, between the US and Europe, and obviously the other tensions like what's happening between the US and Iran?
But I think the only one way to get out of this I would almost call it like a rat race on geopolitics, who is going to be the #1 in the world in the future. I think that's what the matter is all about. The only one way to look at this in a long-term, meaningful manner is that you localize your innovation, your production. In the United States today, we have got more than $22 billion on revenues. We are a net exporter actually from the United States into the world. We are doing business in 50 states. We've got almost 60,000 people working for Siemens and the customers in the US. Similar in China, where we have about 40,000 people. So localization and local innovation is the key to sort of counter unilateral matters on global trade.
And at the same time, you have to cut jobs. So, for example, the Gas and Power Division has recently seen 2,700 job cuts, and demand for turbines is much lower than the capacity to build them in the world is right now. 110 on the former, 400, say, on the latter. Do you see more job cuts for Siemens coming down the line soon?
Well, look, by the same token, we are hiring about 35,000 people every year. So what we really look at in Siemens, there is 3 major businesses. One is the power generation and energy business, which is obviously struggling also due to the fact that investment has been cutting back on both electricity as well as oil and gas, which I believe has been temporary in nature and should pick up again. And we just heard about upgrades all over the place in the oil and gas sector. Then we have the industrial automation, where Siemens is by far the world leader. So we are actually describing the 4th industrial revolution if it comes to industrial automation and software. We are by far #1. We've got more than 35,000 software engineers in the company. And then you've got Siemens Healthcare. So what you see is you've got 3 different businesses in a big company. And what I'm trying to do now is to focus those businesses to the markets. So we have been splitting the industrial Siemens and the Siemens Power. So we bring the Siemens Power business to the market. It's a unique combination of businesses within power. We've got the traditional power generation. We are the world's largest renewable energy company by installed base. And we do have the transmission and oil and gas. Nobody else has that. So we are not carving out anything or letting something go. We are actually creating new, strong companies. And I believe this is what matters in the future. You've got to be focused. You've got to be right on the market, right on the customer, right on technology, and right on localization. And this is how you go about, let's say, turbulences in geopolitics and geoeconomics, because that's at the end of the day what matters.
Mr. Kaeser, I just got back from the Paris Air Show. I had a lot of conversations about how we're going to electrify powertrains in the aviation sector. You got rid of that business and sold it to Rolls-Royce. I'm curious as to why. Everybody's focusing on it right now within that industry.
So do we. So do we. And we actually honestly have been the pioneers in electrifying propulsion systems on aviation. We've been working together with many companies like Airbus, where we put it together into a concept. So we developed it from scratch. We brought it out of the woodwork, so to speak. So now we have a system which needs to be developed towards aviation. And the reason why we've been looking now for partners to give it to, but still work together with them, is that we did not want to become competitors of our customers. And that's why we said, look, we've done the groundwork. We know how we know that it works. We've been doing a lot of testing on that one, and now we've been working together with Rolls-Royce, and they are now developing the propulsion systems, and we help them with that, with electrification components to deliver. But we also do want to deliver not only to Rolls-Royce, we want to deliver to others like Pratt & Whitney and obviously others. So we basically say, look, we tested it, we know how it works, we can help you, but now it's on the turbine makers to bring it into a spectrum and will be the supplier of them and not a competitor of them.